Yes, you're welcome back. You remember that sometime last week, the House of Representatives called for compulsory drug testing for secondary school students in the country, given the incessant cases of substance abuse by young Nigerians. The resolution of the House was sequel to the adoption of the floor of the House on Thursday. That was then a motion on the need to introduce mandatory drug testing for secondary school students in Nigeria, moved by member representing Lagos Mainland Federal Constituency, Olarida Oshun. All right, Oshun, while addressing the debate, stated that youths are critical stakeholders in fostering socio-economic development, blah, blah, blah. And of course, eventually, the bottom line is that the House of Representatives have recommended compulsory drug tests for secondary school students. And that's going to be the topic we are looking at in this interview segment of Morning Flakes of the Wednesday edition of New Dawn. And we have two guests in the house to look at this important topic with us. Charity?
All right, and our guest this morning is Dr. Olanrewaju Sodeinde. He's a psychologist and he's an expert on that field. He will know something about that story. And the second guest is a lecturer. She is Dr. Mrs. Bumi Banjo, the head of Department Multimedia Technology, Federal Polytechnic, Ilaro. And our topic again is student drug test before admission. Is it necessary?
Dr. Banjo.
Is it necessary?
I would say it is necessary, but on what ground?
Okay.
What is the justification for it? Is it for punishment or is it for rehabilitation? So we can take it in two ways. What we mean by punishment? When we test a student and it is positive, are you going to say we will not give the student an admission, or we are going to drop the studentship being positive? Or we rehabilitate the students by introducing the student to get an counseling unit in order for the student to move towards the future prepared for him or her. So it is necessary, but we have to look inwards. The aim behind the test.
Okay, let me as an addendum, the University of Abuja last year started it, and they said any student coming into their school will be tested, and that was done.
Yeah, fine.
Is it something popular in our tertiary institutions, or it is just for a particular set of schools?
It is popular mostly in private universities. But public university, when we are talking about drug tests, it has to do with a lot of cost. The cost implication. And the population we are having in public universities and polytechnics. And also, when any institution wants to go through that process, it must be in their admission process. There must be an awareness that, okay, if you are coming into our institution, you must pass through this. They must carry the student along before doing the test with them.
I think I'm not even too much of disagreements. Just like you said, if it is our institution, it could be part of it, and of course you go through it because you never know what you have passed through in the last 5 or 6 years in school. But Dr. Sodeinde, psychologically, primary school students coming into secondary school, your reaction?
Yeah, thank you very much. From my own perspective, when we look at the issue of substance use disorder, which people, relates to drug abuse, it's a major health and social problem that has gotten to the level of a pandemic level. The problem is grossly underreported from what we see in clinical practice. And the problem is everywhere, affecting every nation, affecting both the rich and the poor, and affecting everybody. And studies by the United Nations Office of Drug and Crime states that this problem is prevalent mostly among ages of 15 to 64 years. So at that level, so with the magnitude of the problem, a lot of things has to be done. So, and talking about screening before getting into school, in primary school, in secondary school, to a reasonable extent, just like my co-presenter has said, at that level, because those children don't really know the importance of what they are doing or the import, they minimize the problem and just tribalize it. Even parents may also rise up and say, oh, we don't want this and that, but the main something is that at the, they are considered to be minor at that age, primary school, secondary school, most of them are under the age of 18, going by what we are going through right now at the age when people enter secondary school and pass out. But at the tertiary level, it's common, in the private university, but it could also be generalized. And but before that can be done, a lot of things has to be put in place in terms of awareness. The parents,
quickly, doctor, is it a global phenomenon or a Nigerian problem?
Drug problem is a global problem.
At that level.
At that level.
Between age 15 and 64 years.
Wow.
It's a major problem. And it's not only affecting Nigeria, but affecting every nation across the globe. And it has affected, a lot of people, leading to a lot of untimely death. Many are still dependent on drugs. There are many with family problems.
Before I leave you, she read something.
Okay.
If you carry out the tests at that level that the reps are proposing, and you find out that, yes, these ones are not worthy to go into secondary school because there is a drug problem, what next?
No, the problem is from the rep something is, I think a lot of modification has to be done. Just like I said, the basic something at that level is awareness, create awareness among those children about the problem about drug abuse and how it can affect their educational pursuit in life. For example, studies have shown that it can lead to low grades. Then there is what is called a motivational syndrome, in the sense that people don't become motivated to even go to school, go to class, or do something tangible again. So that's where the idea can be coming, the school has come and whatever, so all those things come into play. So, but at that level, with awareness, maybe part of the school curriculum, substance abuse is there, and the people are actually told, the students are educated about the problem of drug abuse and how it can truncate their future ambition or desire in life. So some of them that may have desire to become lawyer, doctor, or whatever, may say, okay, I don't want to go into drugs.
So what you advocate for is massive awareness.
Yes, initial awareness at that stage.
Not necessarily testing.
Yes, and it will be at, all hands have to be on decks. The individual, the students, the parents, and everybody that is involved.
Eventually, these tests are carried out.
Yes.
And some are found to be wanting, not worthy of being
admission.
No, it's not that level. It depends on the level of severity.
Okay.
If the test is carried out, then it's a screening process. And after screening, some may not even test positive at all. So those ones will just be put aside. But those that are positive will now be the ones that attention will be focused on. And when they are reviewed, the level of addiction severity or the drug use severity can be, considered. Some may just need counseling, breathing. Some may need brief intervention, and some may need severe intervention. But that may not justify that they will not go to school. After those interventions, they can carry on. But at that level, as my co-presenter is talking about, when we talk about the cost, the cost is very high. Also the manpower, which is not really there today, so, and that's the way I see it. At that level, it is needless.
Dr. Mrs.
No, we'll come back.
All right.
We'll come back to Dr. Banjo to answer your question. But, of course, those who are concerned to or sort of those in that generation group, that group of, have also been talking. Maybe the higher institution students on what this could imply if eventually it sees the light of the day. So let's also watch and listen to their reaction, so to say. Well, we'll come and conclude this interview segment.
Education is very important in life, and to anything that works it, there must be criteria. That test is a criteria to measure whether somebody is fit or not, and it varies from one institution to the other. Those who are in the private, the government, and it is necessary to ensure that whoever we are taking in is fit to undergo the education program.
It's sometimes necessary. It depends on if there's a drug situation going on that is needed, that a drug test must be done in a school. Because I believe that when a situation happens, then there's a measure that needs to be done for it. It's just like when you hear there has been drug cases around the school or an area, then you can then bring out the measure of drug test before any admission in a society, institution, or anywhere. So my take on the question is, if there's a reason or something, an incident that have happened that concerns drugs, then a measure needs to be taken in that particular institution or area. That's my own view on it.
If they conduct that test for them, they'll be able to know, if they can detect it in their blood, those that take drugs and all. So if they can detect it in their blood, they'll be able to know those that are into it, because they can become a bad influence for their classmates when they finally gain admission. So I feel it's necessary for them to do drug tests for incoming students.
Most of these students that are causing trouble, most of them that are cultists or something like that, it will reduce them.
Test before they admit any students. Why? Because we can see what is happening nowadays, even in our society. If care is not taken from primary school, you will see those people that has been taking a lot of drugs, in which most of the parents they don't know. They don't know that their students have been into such a thing. You will be surprised when they conduct those tests for some students, and their parents will be surprised that such a thing has been moving on, has been going on. So, in my own view, I think they should conduct the test before they admit any students.
Probably just to know the welfare of the students before they enter the school. So, I think it's positive to me. And it allows the students to know what to take and the friends to mingle with, even before the school or after the school.
Like, if I might be into drug, then I change my ways. There's no way that drug will leave my body now. It will leave my body. It's still there, one way or the other. If you check my blood, if you do a blood test, you surely see there that I've been into drug before or even presently. So, and it's actually hard for them to stop it sometimes, but gradually they can stop it. And they doing blood